Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel if you're new here. This is a space for women's training, pregnancy, postpartum and beyond. Today we are doing a short birth prep or pelvic prep for birth, labor and birth. And you can do this throughout your whole pregnancy. That will be amazing. But especially in the third trimester and leading up to your due date, then this is awesome. And in early labor as well, these are great movements too. All right, also just before we get stuck in, if you don't know about my website, please check that out, arawomen.com.au, and that is linked below. You can check out my courses, memberships, and offerings on there. Okay. Let's get into it today. So I've just got one yoga block. Please grab a yoga block or a firm cushion if you don't have that. And we'll start in an all fours position, just connecting in with the diaphragmatic breath. So I want you to take a nice deep inhale down deep into the belly, the side of the ribs, and into the back. So it's this 360 breath. Inhale, expanding and releasing. Again, inhale and relax. One more time, inhale and release. All right, just moving into a little bit of spinal movement now. So taking some circles with the chest, really feeling all that movement through the spine. As you come down to the bottom position, see if you can avoid thrusting or dropping the belly down to the floor. So we're just moving through that bottom position with control and change direction. A little bit more, and keeping the breath just moving nice and steady. Nice, and release. Taking a little cat-cow here. So dropping the chest down towards the floor. Again, avoiding just letting the belly drop fully down to the floor. Chest pulls down. Feel that lengthening through the front of the body. And then rounding the shoulders. Really focus on that rounding of the shoulder blades and then tuck the the pelvis under. Nice. And then just moving through these two positions with the breath. Lovely. And rocking back onto the knees. So now we're going to take a deep squat. Now, a few options here for setting up. If you can get the heels all the way down to the floor in the deep squat, then great. If not, you can prop them up. So you could just roll up your mat or pop a towel or cushion underneath the heels. So the heels can be supported in an elevated position. If a deep squat is feeling really uncomfortable or you do already have any prolapse symptoms, then you will just take a supported deep squat sitting on your block or cushion or bolster. Okay, now this deep squat is beautiful for opening the pelvis. It's also great for the pelvic inlet, the top of the pelvis, because we have hip external rotation with the knees. So just sitting here, you can rock from side to side a little bit, and then we're going to take some knee pulses. So let's take the left hand down to the floor, right hand to the knee, and just gently pressing out onto that knee. So we're getting this little pulse of the hip. If you do have any pubic symphysis pain, then I would recommend being quite mindful with these, either just avoiding them and holding the squat or just taking really small pulses. Nice, just a few more here. And then we'll hold, so pressing out onto the knee, but also have a little bit of tension pushing back with the knee as well. And release. Moving to the other side and pulsing. See if you can keep that breath steady. No breath holding, and little hold, pressing out but pushing back with the knee. Beautiful. And coming back in. Nice. Holding just a little bit longer here. I want you to think about sitting up nice and tall and bringing the pelvis forward, so we're sticking the bum out. And then see if you can round through the back and pelvis tucks under. Just one more in each position. Roll forward and tucking under. Lovely. Coming out. Okay, this is where you'll need your block or a firm cushion or bolster. We're going to come into all fours position, and let's start with the left leg, bringing the left knee up onto the block. So then shifting the weight into that elevated knee. Then here we're going to take some pelvic tilts. So like our cat-cow position, we're going to round through the low back, really tucking under, and then allow the low back to arch slightly. Again, we're not just fully dumping into that arched back. So tucking under, keeping that weight shifted into that elevated knee and back. Nice, just moving through those two positions with the breath. This movement is great for the mid-pelvis. So asymmetrical positions with the hips and pelvis are really good for that mobility through the mid-pelvis. Nice, and back to just a more neutral position. And now we're going to do some knee lifts. So still keeping that weight in the elevated knee. And now exhaling, slight activation of the core as we lift that knee up to be in line with the elevated knee and down. Up. So it should feel like the femur is just shifting back. 3, 4, exhaling as you lift to activate the core and down. Okay, we're going to switch it over. So setting that up under the other knee, placing the knee on and shifting the weight over into that leg, elevated leg. Let's start with our pelvic tilts. So rounding and arching gently with that nice deep breathing here. Nice. Few more. And now let's move into the knee lifts. So keeping that weight in the elevated knee. Exhale, prepare. And sliding that hip back. Touch the knee down. And up. 3. 2 more. Lifting up. Exhale as you lift. Engaging that core. And down. Lovely. And moving the block off to the side. Okay, now we're going to come into some lunges. So bringing the left foot forward. Now, this lunge, what we're going to do is bring the belly towards the thigh as we come forward. So we're lunging slightly forward into that front leg and then rotating towards the bent knee, coming out, straighten the leg, and again. So keeping this tucked under pelvis position, should also feel a nice lengthening through that back hip flexor. 3, 4, getting some nice pelvic internal rotation here. 5, let's do one more and hold. 1, 2, tuck under. 3, 4, and 5. Lovely, coming out. Let's switch it over. Right foot forward. Setting up, you can always hold on to something if you do need to, if you're feeling a little unstable here. Okay, and preparing, tucking under. We're coming into that lunge and twist towards the bent leg. 1, 2, 3, retuck under, rib cage down towards the pelvis. 4, grounding down through that front foot. 5, this one will hold, and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and coming out. Beautiful. Coming down to the floor, we're going to come into a 90-90 position with the legs. So setting up there, already you might feel quite a stretch in the glutes. If you're falling off to the side, just use your hands to support you on the floor. Okay, here we're going to try some lifts. So here I want you to, we'll begin with hand assisted. So you're going to press up off the floor using the hands into this top position. Now we're going to lower down towards the floor. I want you to think about this back hip touching, or the glute of that side touching the floor first. It won't, but that's the cue we want to use as we come down and back up. If this feels really strong for you, you're using the hands for support to lower down, touch lightly, and come back up. If not, we can just touch without the use of the hands. And let's do 3 more. 1, light touch, back up, 2, and 3, and lower down. So here we're really focusing on that internal rotation of the back leg. We're also getting external rotation of this front hip. Staying on this side for now, keeping in this position. And now we're going to take some lifts. So again, if you do have pubic symphysis pain, this one might be too strong, so perhaps avoiding this one. All right, grounding down, you can place the hands. We're going to lift, flex the foot and lift that back leg off the floor and touch down. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and coming down. Let's switch it over to the other side. You'll often find quite a difference in the strength and mobility side to side. That's pretty normal, just taking note of that. So setting up here in this position, and again, just taking a moment to sit here, noticing the stretch that is already happening probably in this position. This can be plenty enough if you do have that pubic symphysis pain, so you might want to stay here. Otherwise, we're going to try our lifts. So you can use the hands if need be to come up. And then now it's the opposite hip that is trying to touch the floor first. Remember, you can use your hands for a bit more support. Nice. Two more. With control, it's a light touch down to the floor, not a plonk, and coming all the way down. Lovely. Supporting yourself with the hands, and let's take those lifts at the back foot. So lifting up, pressing the knee down into the floor. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and hold for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. That internal rotation really helps to open and mobilize the pelvic outlet, which is the base of the pelvis. So that's why we're focusing on that, on those there. Lovely. That's the end of our little session today. So now let's come down into a child's pose. So coming down, legs wide as you need for belly. You can have a cushion or block to support your head, and resting down. And here we want to really relax and release the pelvic floor. So inhaling that nice diaphragmatic breath down into belly, side, and rib, back ribs. Let's take 3 together with a nice sighing out breath. Inhale.
Again, inhaling. Exhale. Last one. Nice and deep. And release.
Lovely. Coming all the way up. Thanks for joining me for that class. I hope that helps. You can repeat these movements as often as possible leading up to your labor. And please, it helps me a lot if you like and subscribe to the channel. And I'd love to hear from you if you want to leave a comment below saying what you enjoyed, where you're at with your pregnancy, and anything else that you would like to see from me on the channel. All right, thanks so much. Have a beautiful day. Bye.